and gentlemen. Welcome to the World and Theatre production of Wife Number 11. Please be reminded to switch off your handphones and mobile devices. The show is 1 hour and 15 minutes long and there is no interval. There will be a 15-minute dialogue session after the show, and we welcome you to stay behind to round off your experience of this performance. Thank you and enjoy the show.
January 1962. My darling Teresa. Happy New Year, my dearest. It seems we are fated from the very start to be apart, to write letters to each other from a distance. Who knew when we met 16 years ago that one of us would betray the other, that both of us would spend time in jail, and that we would still be in love with each other, despite what you and I have been through. Now, as I look through the letters that we have written to each other, I realize that love letters are not always letters filled with the words of love and romance. Very often they are just filled with everyday things. Things like surprise, loneliness, anger, boredom, illness, betrayal, longing, yes, even complaints. Great love affairs are very strange. You can only know how deeply you are in love right there at the very end. While you're traveling, you're usually too busy to notice. Life is very distracting. Today I'll be reading through our letters, and I'm sending them all to you so that you can take the whole journey again with me. It would have been best if you were beside me and we were reading them together. Sometimes the best love stories are fated to be told separately. Happy reading, my darling. Love always. Your Ah Huat.
16th February 1946. My dearest husband-to-be, Ah Huat, you must be surprised to hear from me. Not many women write to their husbands-to-be before their arranged marriages. However, I thought you might as well get used to having a convent-educated woman with a mind of her own. I want to be honest and direct with you, as I hope you will be with me. That's what a good marriage is supposed to be, isn't it? My mom, of course, thinks otherwise. She thinks that a good marriage is all about quiet endurance on part of a woman. Very old-fashioned. That is why I am writing to you without her knowledge. Now, a few things about me that the matchmaker conveniently left out, and she was only too keen to make a quick commission. Anyway, I have decided to come clean, as I truly believe that a good marriage should not begin with all these deep, dark secrets. You are not my first love. Prior to the war, I was engaged to be married to the son of the robber king of Perak. He was charming and I truly loved him. Briefly separated because of the war, We were planning to get married soon after. However, when the war was over, I got a letter to say that he was calling off our engagement. His new bride-to-be was this coarse and ugly girl who comes with this massive inheritance that somehow survived the war. My family lost our fortune during the war, so I guess I looked a lot less beautiful without all that money. And to justify calling off our engagement, he spread this horrible rumor that I had been ruined in the war. And to think I waited 7 years for this cad. With my reputation gone, I was no longer, as Grandma puts it, no more a spring chicken now. I was truly devastated. That is, until you came along. You were older than I thought, not as tall as I would have liked. Then again, you were kind, sweet, and helpful. And best of all, you were educated. Well, at least you could write. I was very happy and thankful. Until this morning. Our family received a visit this morning, not just from your first, but also your second wife. And they came for the sole purpose of checking me out. You're too noisy and uneducated. Your two wives poked and prodded me all the while discussing how my hips are not wide enough to bear a child. I mean, what do you think I am? A prize cow about to be auctioned? So, I am writing to tell you that I am not happy. I know the bride price has already been paid, so there's no going back. I know that you are rich, so I hope that you will prepare a separate home for me. Otherwise, you will not have any peace in your home. I simply can't live with those two women. In 3 months' time, you're coming by for the tea ceremony to bring me back to your place, which is why I wanted to write you ahead of time, so that you can prepare well for my arrival. My apologies for taking up so much of your time. You are a very busy businessman, but I really feel it is very important to start off understanding each other. Your sincere and humble wife, Teresa Marie Chan Mei Fang. P.S. I once wanted to do something useful in my life. You know, like becoming a teacher or a nurse. Make a difference to the lives of the people around me. I guess a career is out of the question for your wives. Just thought I'd mention it to see how you feel about it.
First June 1946. To my newest wife, Teresa. Your first letter is very long, like your name. Usually the business letters I receive are short, to the point. First of all, I'm glad you want to be direct and honest. I'm a businessman, so that's what I am. Direct and no nonsense. Don't like to waste time. Second, you say you have a mind of your own. Yeah, all women have their own mind. But I'm not afraid, otherwise I would not have married 10 women. Oh yeah, I think by now, eldest wife, your eldest sister from now on, would have settled you in. Have you met your 8 other new sisters yet? My advice is, be good to them. Don't make them angry. You don't want them to get up on you what I'm telling you. Believe me. Oh, I'm glad I'm not your first love. You are also not my first. You are number 10. But you are the first educated one I married. Not that education is so important, lah. Doesn't make women more beautiful. Just make them like to argue and quarrel more. But don't worry, I will still look after you, even though you're not as pretty as wife number 4, number 6, or number 7. And don't be angry, Hor. You want me to be direct, honest, so I tell you lah. Oh, since you want me to be direct and honest, I think no need to write to me every month lah. You have my 18 children to teach now, so you will not have much free time. Write once in 6 months will do. Honestly, I also don't have much time to read love letters. Just give me a report of my family, how it's doing while I'm away, since the other women don't know how to write. Our tin mines and plantations are in Malaya and Sabah. So sometimes I can be away 6 months, sometimes 1 year. Depends. News from home is always good, but the letters take a long time to arrive. Our mines and plantations are very ulu one, so you have to be very patient for my reply. Sometimes travel for months or so, got no post office. Yes, you can have a house on your own. There are many houses on the street we live in that is named after my father. They all belong to me now. If you can clean and clean up one of them, it is yours. Actually, the big house at the end of the road is for all the official wives in my family. The smaller houses are for the ones that cannot get along with the rest. The small houses are also not so comfortable and not so well furnished. But they also leak when it rains. But if you insist, there's nothing I can do to stop you. After all, you are educated and have your own mind. I will never try to change you. Your loving husband, what? P.S. I don't understand why you need a job to be useful. Aren't you already useful when you married me? You will bear more children for me and help me look after my big family.
5th February 1947. Dear Ahwat, 6 months. It's taken me 6 months to get out my depression. Why in the world does a man need 10 wives? 1 is for companionship. 2 is for choice. 3 is just being greedy, but 10 is just madness. Are you thinking? Do you look at the women around you? Since you want a 6th monthly report from me, fine. First sister looks like a ghost. Her face is like a mask, one that has lost all hope. I see this in her eyes as she prepares me to join your household. Sister 2 just eats and eats and eats. She's bigger than a fat sow in our garden. Sister 3 and 4 gossips and gets everyone quarreling with each other. They are the reason why Sister 2 eats so much. Sister 5 chants her Buddhist mantras to drown out all the noise. And Sister 6 sings, no, shrieks Chinese love songs from the 2nd floor window to drown out all the mahjong games. Sister 7 flirts with any man who pays some attention, and Sisters 8 and 9 just fights and swears like prostitutes. Last week, we had to pull them apart from the neighbor, and that's the 3rd time it's happened this year. I seriously don't understand it. 10 wives? Isn't that 9 too many? Your still loving wife, Teresa. P.S. How am I supposed to teach these 18 monsters you call your children? Hopeless. They're hopeless for math, hopeless for English, hopeless for science. Okay, so 2 of them have a head for business, but I'm not qualified to teach that. Let's hope our baby coming out later this year will be different. Let's hope this one will be intelligent, like us. This is not quite what I had in mind when I said I wanted to be useful.
June 1947. To my educated wife. Your last letter made me so angry. I decided to wait till our baby is born to write to you, otherwise I'll say even more terrible things to you. You're lucky you gave me a son. Yes, son or no son, I'm still angry.
First of all, who are you asking why I want so many wives? I can afford. Don't ask. None of your business. I can marry 20 wives if I want. Our Chinese emperors have hundreds of wives and no one asks me questions. But if you still want to know, then maybe I want one wife for each night of the week. Then 8 to 9 days. For the public holidays lah. And you, to be honest, I got no reason to marry you. Oh yeah, maybe I got no educated wife yet. Just like collecting stamps. But have the one that nobody else in the neighborhood had. But I'm not angry because you ask me questions. I'm angry because you do not listen carefully to what I say. I ask you to get to know your sisters better. And be good to them. And do not even try. You know, my first sister is so unhappy. Because our first child drowned in a well while she was cooking. After that, she doesn't have children already. She thinks heaven cursed her for being a bad mother. That's why she's sad. Second sister eats so much because her stepmother nearly starved her to death.